Hi, everybody. It's Dr. K, and I'm going to help you understand how to make a cover letter by actually writing one out in real time. My hope in this assignment is that you will gain confidence in seeing this not as a monumental task, but as a thing you can learn to do quickly and move through every day. You look at the document and you can already see I have a return address posted. This would be your address that you're using. Now, some of the more modern designs will have you center this and include your email and your phone number and your name. I prefer to use this form because it is the traditional standard block letter form, and the reason why I don't include the name, email, and phone number at the top is because I want that in the conclusion and at the end where people will have to read it. You'll notice that I skip a space and put the date in, skip another space, and I put in the recipient address. You'll notice I have the person's name. If I don't know uh, their title or honorific, I'll just use their first name. I'll put in their job title. If I don't know the person, I might say just hiring supervisor and then put the name of the company, the address, city, state, and zip. When you get to the uh, actual letter itself, the first thing you want to think about is who you're writing to. So here I have dear somebody, but I can't tell if Pat Brown is male or female. If I do a little research, I might find out that it's Ms. Brown. Don't use Mrs. because you don't know if anybody's married. If I don't know who this person is in terms of their first name, I might say dear hiring committee or dear hiring supervisor. But if I have the name, then I probably ought to go with something like Dear Pat Brown or Dear Ms. Brown. This is a matter of doing your homework, finding out from the company who this person is. Now, my first paragraph is going to do a couple very specific things. Your introductory paragraph doesn't have to be long. First, you're asking to be considered. As you see there, I've written, please consider me. And now you see what I'm asking to be considered for, the position of assistant office manager. And if there's a code number or a job number that comes with your job description, make sure that you include that number with your job description. The next thing you include is where you heard about the job, where you read about it, whether it's Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Handshake, whether you read about it in the newspaper. You want to make sure that you tell them where you found out about the information. The reason why is simple. They are spending a lot of money on marketing. You want to let them know where they succeeded. And then you just put it all together, and there's your first sentence. Really easy. Check your word count. I've got 17 out of 44 words. Remember in business the 23-word rule. After 23 words, no one cares. 17 words, they're still paying attention. Now, I'm showing next what I have, where I am in my career. I've recently completed my BS in management, and then I list my school from Merrimack College, right? Check your typos. You don't have to check all your typos as you go. You're going to see that I make plenty of typos. I have plenty of grammatical errors just because my fingers move at a different speed than my brain. You can clean those up after. Now, look at what I'm doing. After I say I've recently completed my degree from my school, I talk about what I did. Here I served as a residence hall assistant and president of the, I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this, Society for Human Resource Management, it looks like it's going to be. So this tells them what are some experiences that qualify me. This is my first chance to drop in keywords, right? Maybe they want some specific experiences that would fit with what I've said. So I would want, again, to make sure that everything that I've said here are now the things that I'm obligating myself to discuss. I'm laying out my plan for what's going to happen in my cover letter as I go. Now, you see that I've put the indent in there, but look, A standard block letter form does not use any kind of indentation. So in this case, no indentation. I'm going to write my last sentence for my intro now. I possess the communication skills. Let's see if there's anything else that I say. And you can already anticipate where I got this communication skills and leadership experience. There's going to be one more, I think. Maybe not. I'm going to have to talk about how I got those from residence hall assistant, my residence hall assistant position, and from my involvement in Society for Human Resource Management, right? So if I say what I did, and then I say here the keywords that they've looked for in the job description, the communication skills, leadership experience, you can usually add, you can have a total of 3, right? Necessary to be a successful manager in your organization. So we just got to flesh that piece out. I decided I'm only going to go with 2, so here's the sentence. I possess the communication skills and leadership experience necessary to be a successful manager in your organization. And now we know. I'm going to show you this through my residence hall and my human resource management experience. So, what did I just agree to do? I want you to be thinking about this. Because when you write that introductory sentence, that introductory paragraph, you're making a commitment to do these same things as well. I committed to showing my communication skills via RA and HRM experience. So that's going to be 1 paragraph. And then I committed to showing my leadership experience, probably, via my RA and HRM experience, right? So that's the commitment that I've made for the 2 body paragraphs that are going to be in this cover letter. Now, are these the best choices in terms of the experiences I want to share and the skills I want to show? There may be more skills that are higher up on the list of needs. There may be better experiences. Maybe I can show all of this with my Res Life experience. I might not need to say that I was part of Society for Human Resource Management. Let's see what I was thinking here. In addition to working several interning at several corporations. So now look, by adding that little bit, I've now created the opportunity to expand the evidence that I use to show my communication skills and to show my leadership. You see how you set up the expectations for your reader in that first paragraph. But notice that that first paragraph isn't a giant paragraph. It's got to do it quickly and tightly. So I want to pick the best examples to show my points. And my points are that I possess the keyword skills and knowledge and abilities that they are looking for. Remember that your resume tells your history. The cover letter must tell the story. The cover letter should not just be another list. That's what your resume is. Your cover letter should make you real to your reader by sharing the stories in which you have used the experiences they want or developed the experiences that they want in order to prove that you are the best candidate for an interview. So look at how I begin the first paragraph. As a 3-year resident assistant, I developed strong leadership skills. Okay, that's not the first paragraph, that's the second paragraph. The order you set it up in your paper, in your introductory paragraph, is the order you need to present it in the body. So my first paragraph has to be about my internship experiences helping me develop corporate communication skills, because that's the first thing I told them I was going to cover. I possess the communication skills, that's first, and leadership skills, that's second, necessary to be a successful manager in your organization. And now I'm going to write in here what I did. And I can include internship experiences because I said I would when I included them in the second sentence of my intro. And look, now I want to include specific activities, specific stories, something I did. I don't want to say that I did a thing. I want to explain what it entailed, how it helped me grow those strong communication skills, how it helped me become the person who they want to hire. So what I'm doing right now is fleshing out a couple of internal sentences in this body paragraph. I won't finish them here, but I want to show you how quickly you can come up with them if you understand what the cover letter does, and if you understand what you're committing to and what you're trying to show your reader. You see how I'm laying out the topic sentence and then these two developing sentences. I didn't finish them because I don't have the details of the story. I haven't given it that kind of time and thought yet. And that's part of what you're going to need to do. That's why it'll take you a little longer than the 20 minutes it took me to get this far. It'll take you a little longer. You see, I'm doing the same thing with the second paragraph. I want to show how I got my leadership skills as a resident assistant. And so one way I did that was to implement a diversity training program. This also gives me a chance to bring in the keyword diversity, which probably shows up in that job description, right? Anytime in these two paragraphs when you can add in a keyword or drop another keyword out of their job description, you want to do it. And the reason why is simple. They're going to run your cover letter and your resume through a computer program. And if it doesn't hit enough of their keywords, it's going to reject you. You're not even going to get a chance to have a human see it. So your cover letter and your resume must have keywords that come from the job description. So here, maybe they said active listening in the job description. Maybe they said paraphrasing skills in the job description, right? So I'm adding them here so that when the computer scans it, it's going to pick up more of the keywords, and that's going to move it up in the pile, and that might give me a better chance for that interview for the position. Right here, I developed training sessions. Probably this job description wants the manager to develop training modules or training sessions. This would be why I might say that at the beginning of sentence 2 right here. This is actually, number 2 would be the third sentence of this second body paragraph. The job description might say something about policy or maintaining policy or organizational policy. And so here in this sentence 2, which is the third sentence of the second paragraph, I'm talking about how I made sure that people followed policy and that there were no violations. Remember, in your body paragraph, you need to have a claim, evidence, and analysis, right? The claim is your argument, the evidence is your proof, the analysis is what that proof means in relation to your evidence and in relation to your application. Now, number 3 right here is the beginning of my conclusion paragraph. As you can see from my experience, I meet the blank, blank, blank keyword needs described in your job description, probably. Yep, there it is. Make sure you're dropping the keywords and make sure that they tie into what you said in the body. Make sense? You want people to see, and you want the computer to read that you have paid attention to that job description and that you possess the skills and the experiences necessary for the position. Your cover letter tells that story. Here's another way that I might work out that conclusion. My skills and experience developed through my college experience. Okay, so we're just going to tie this all back. So that third one could be a third body paragraph as well, in which you catch other keywords that you didn't get to hit in those first 2 paragraphs, if those first 2 had were the big issues that you wanted to make sure you addressed. So that's why I did that with the third body paragraph. Now let's see. My skills and experiences have made me a skilled communicator and strong leader. Boy, that's redundant. Ready to listen, learn, support, and grow alongside my team. So listen, learn, support, and grow are probably keywords because that's really forced. Now, make sure in your conclusion that you start by summarizing what you have, then you make the request for what you want, and what you want is an interview, right? If it's a cover letter, you're trying to get an interview. And what do you want to do with the interview? Don't make it all about yourself. Make it about yourself in relation to the company so that we can discuss the role you have in mind in more detail and that I can present my skills in person. You might want to say, so we can discuss your needs and my qualifications in greater detail, right? And here it is. Here's another option for that request sentence. Remember, in business writing, more is not better. You want to be precise and you want to be concise. Here we go, 28 words for that sentence. So do I want to keep it? The other sentence was 14 words. So which one am I going to keep? I'm willing to bet I'm about to delete the one above it. Let's see what I do. A little bit of editing here. It's all right to incorporate editing throughout the process if it helps you clarify what you're trying to say. Some people like to just go ahead and get it all spilled out and then clean it up after. And here we go, deleted it. It was too long for my purposes. I wanted to keep it short because the sentence before it was also a very long sentence. Now, usually when we put in our contact information, we say we may be reached or we may be easily reached. Don't use the word easily unless you are. If you keep your phone on vibrate, you're probably not easy to be reached. So I may be reached at, and put your phone number in, put your email address in, and keep them professional. Don't have some kind of playful email address like, MacDaddy21 at, stick with something that's going to make you sound like somebody worthy of a job. Make sense? So let's see. Looking over the document, may be easily reached. Thank you. Always end by saying thank you. Always tell them that you look forward to hearing from them. Engage in a relationship here. The cover letter sets up your relationship. And here I am attaching the sentences to the paragraph. So I have my concluding paragraph assembled just like that. Didn't take 5 minutes. Now, there should be, we take off the URL unless you're going to send an electronic copy that they're going to be able to click on. Always end with sincerely. You don't need to put in those archaic, I remain, yours, this truly, no, sincerely is fine. Usually you keep 3 spaces between the sincerely and your typed name, and that would allow you to handwrite your signature in there. Or if you have your signature as a JPEG, you could insert that image and resize it to fit that spot. So let's see what I'm doing here. So I'm going back to the concept of claim evidence discussion, and I'm adding in a discussion line to make clear. See, the first was the claim, these numbered, this is the evidence, and now I'm changing this third one into a line that establishes the discussion. My experiences have enabled me to develop the leadership skills, ... So that's where I'm trying to tie my evidence to my claim so that my audience sees what I want them to see. That's when we do analysis, when we synthesize the knowledge and experiences together. Right? So now I'm going to make that number 3. All right. So now we can take that out. I can bring this up, and you can see already we've been at this for right now is the 20-minute mark, and you can see that I already have most of a full page of a cover letter already assembled. A cover letter does not have to be a complicated document if you understand who you are and what skills you have and where you got them from. And as you can see here, I can get it all onto a page as well. If we just shift that from 2 spaces to 1, then I can put it all on a page. And this is a standard cover letter. There you can see the full thing. In some disciplines, you're allowed to go to a second page. I don't generally recommend it. There it is. If you have any questions about how to assemble a cover letter, you can always meet with a writing consultant at the Writing Center. You can schedule appointments with them at merrimack.wconline.com. You can also talk with your career coach or visit the O'Brien Career Development Center, and they'll be able to talk with you maybe about how they develop cover letters. But for real practice in writing a cover letter, come visit us at the Writing Center. We'll be happy to help you out. At this point, I've resized the font to make sure that it fits easily onto one page. I kicked it down from 12 to 11. I'm making sure that I identified the bullets that I have to come back to and develop. I'm changing it, the font type, to a sans serif to make it easier to read. So I switched it from Times New Roman to Arial. Some folks prefer Times New Roman. I don't. The serifs, the little things that dangle off, are harder to read. So now I know what I need to develop right here in bold, keyword, 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 so I can see what work is yet to be done. This is going to push the length of it. So thank you very much, folks, and happy writing.